All right, let's go live. Welcome everyone to 303rd weekly MLP Drawing School live critique stream. I can't believe we're here, but here we are.
We've done too many of these. I think we're done. I think last one.
Yeah,
Hard in.
don't worry. Soldier Point said he would take over all the work, so next week is
And
Soldier
Vex.
Point and Vex.
So, Solder Point, Vex, and Len, the next
And
generation.
Tofu.
And Tofu. Yep.
Maybe we'll get Dop in there too.
Why not? Why not?
So as you can hear, we have a small eclectic group of horse people. We got an Alley Claw.
Nay.
We got a Len.
People.
Hello.
And we got a Pixie Nope.
Hi. And we have an LD.
What? No, that's a lie. I am just your voice projected over to here.
Oh, okay.
I see. And,
Man, I have a weird accent.
Yeah.
And we can't forget the featuring CPC fluffing in the background. If you see a fluff, it's most definitely CPC.
Being all quiet.
Sort of like a fluff ninja.
Yeah.
All right, ninja. So as always, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you have any art, feel free to throw it at our face. And if you'd like to pay us to do this, we have no payment services. So good luck figuring that one out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that some of the artists on here have commissions open.
Yep.
So
for 2 years, and I've never had a commission. It's really sad.
Rip.
Fire me that shit. I am commissioning you tonight.
Yeah, actually fire that way.
No, seriously.
Jeez. How do you...
I didn't know you had commissions open. That's happening.
Yeah, I'm reworking on the stuff because the pricing is off on my old one now.
It was too cheap, right? Because it should be $20 to $30 at a bare minimum.
I made it. Well, it's just different. I don't know. It's not more expensive. It's not less expensive. It's just different.
Choose your own adventure. I got it.
We'll bully you into making it more expensive. Don't worry.
Damn.
Pixie's very good at it.
Yep.
All right, so we got some horses here today. The first one, top left-hand corner, is by Umbra Honest. My current OC's Hot Shot and Caramel Dipper. On the bottom of my very first OC, on the bottom is my very first OC. I have chopped that one off just to get more canvas here. Is my very first OC chase I did in 2013. Critique is welcome of the piece Hot Shot and Dipper. Can you add this to the stream? I don't... Did you draw that? Do you have a larger version of that? If you have a larger version, it'll be easier. Otherwise, that's like 150 pixels. Sure. All right, so this Umber Honest note, Hotshot and Dipper are the same age. My headcanon for MLP is that Pegasi are a lot taller and bigger than the other pony races to support their giant wings, and Earth ponies are the smallest race, which is like an inverse of most people's headcanon.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, that's
true. Oh yeah. So, good stuff. Looks good. Looks great. First thing that sort of stands out to me is this area here. Because if you look here, this is like the center. You've got that little line there showing that this is the center. But if you go that way, there's a lot more. It's a bit unbalanced in terms of where these two lines end up. So you could probably do something a bit more like that. And then have this just sort of follow along there a little bit more so that there's a little bit more balance in terms of how far left and right that goes. Because it is twisting in this kind of a way, you can probably like look at like twisting forms because this kind of shape is something that you'll see a lot sort of in bodies, is having like one side that's sort of pinched in and one side that's kind of like extended. and you can apply this same kind of like shape to things that are twisting, like necks and like bellies and like all that sort of stuff. So
I'm here. I snuck in. Sorry I'm late.
Oh, hello.
I know. How could you be late?
I'm sorry.
Not being on time like the rest of us.
We have to dock
Track
your pay.
time. Look, I was drawing. I'll show you what I was drawing later. It'll make up for it. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
Oh, brilliant. Nice job with the little hoofs. They look really cool. It's subtle, but it definitely like adds some direction. Also, good job with that. Like showing off that. Yeah. Looks pretty good. I added a little back ear there. Who's doing that hair?
It's me.
Really love this new style, or I don't know if it's new, but whoever decided to pick up this colored wing or colored feather for the last bit of feathers. Oh, it's so fun. I do have a question about it though. It looks like on part of it you've done colored for the bottom, and then we've left colored out for the bottom sections that appear here, and then we have no colored for the top section of that. I'm interested in what the reasoning behind not coloring the top of those or like the reverse side of those feathers. Is it just because these have a nice break line because you have all the like what are those secondary feathers? I forget what they're called. The middle line fluff feathers.
Mm.
Because you have all these and it's creating a nice break, but you don't have a visible break here, so trying to figure out where those other would stick is difficult. If that's the case, sorry, go ahead.
No, it feels like it could be to like try and differentiate the top and the bottom of the wing, but I'd sort of say that probably a better way to do that is to have this sort of go onto the top as well, and then on the bottom wing you can come over with a bit of like just a shadow over. That's a lot. There we go. Just like a kind of like shadow over all of it to sort of differentiate this section from the top part that's going to be getting a lot of light.
Ooh, I found a reference.
We love references.
Do this. You do the same thing on the other wing.
Should I send it in the Discord?
Sure. Sisyphus.
Yeah.
Sisyphus. The little one, according to the original creator, they believe that Earth horses are smaller than Pegasi in their headcanon. So they're both the same-ish age. It's just Earth horses are underfed, so that they haven't really grown.
Yeah. Pegasus is a big horse. Let's do some more.
I'm gonna quickly pull this down into the front page there. Len just shared this. It's a lovely, lovely, lovely reference. I am 100% gonna forget unless if. Oh wait, I can do this. I will link you to the Discord image, haha, because that will be the most confusing one.
Are they in the chat right now?
No, they are just in it's Reddit post.
Okay.
So I'm just putting links onto their post right now. Anyway,
okay.
this does describe that wonderful layering of feathers, and you can see step 3 even shows like the back side of the wing still having the the fluffy separation.
Ignore this red over here. Not great at drawing wings. It's fun to when you dig into sort of wings to look at the overlapping though, like this kind of like overlapping, and I think I've seen some people describe getting sort of references for their wings and how they're like twisting by like getting a sheet of paper and then just like with just a sheet of printer paper or something like that, and then just twisting it and sort of seeing how it all folds out and all that sort of kind of stuff. But a really good thing, like as I said before, to like showing off the form is just to be very liberal with sort of the parts that are shaded, and then the parts that are lit. So it's a really good way to sort of very directly show off the sort of forms that you're trying to present when it comes to wings like that. Yeah, if you look at like different birds and stuff, you can see like all sorts of different weird little patterns from wing bars to like different sections of the wing being colored differently to like eye bars and all sorts of like weird fun stuff. So I think it'd be really fun to just grab more inspiration from sort of how birds are colored. They have some really cool patterns going on all over. I did want to say this whole construction here looks great. Looks amazing. The whole shoulder to whatever. All this. I like how these two end up different at different angles there. I'd probably raise this up just a tiny little bit more and make it like a tiny little bit longer. But it's not a big drama. It's alright. I'm not sure why. This looks good, but it looks a little bit strange to me. But that's probably just me.
All right, shall we move on to our next lovely picture?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Absolutely amazing picture.
All right, Soldier Point.
Hello.
You submitted a horse. What
I did.
questions do you have for us?
I don't understand how like the joints in the hooves work. So I just make them a curved instead of actually having bends.
All right. Well, that's a pretty easy one. Who wants to take this up?
I saw somebody working there.
I was trying, but then I forgot.
Yeah, I'm just chilling. Not doing anything.
Like a villain?
What?
Hey, CPC, if you're there, can we get some fluff on this chest fluff? The little blue one hugging Derpy?
Hugging is hard.
Is somebody kind of doing? Get a different color.
All right. Well, I can do this. So we got a series of bones here. Generally, like if we work from the skeleton, we got the head, the neck or the spine attaches to the back of the neck, flows down the back. Our shoulders are actually based forward on that body. So we got our chest. I'm going to quickly do it in a darker green. So that's the chest line, right? That makes that chest ball of doom. And then the arm is broken down into 3 bones. Some people choose to add an additional hoof bone. Nah, not necessary really, but feel free. It's your prerogative. But essentially it is just 3 bones and you're wrapping it around a cylinder. In this case, if you want to best emphasize that it is like hugged around something, my suggestion would be use the hoof and use overlap. So when you actually use your dog for this one, your dog's a great one. You're gonna give your dog a hug and go look at your arm on that one because your arm is gonna be the horse's arm now. Okay. So you have your 2 bones. Just imagine your wrist bone is the last one. Don't worry about your fingers. Okay?
Okay.
Look how it wraps around it. So you got your shoulder. It's doing a bit of jointed movement. MLP horses are slightly more have slightly less axes of movement they can do on their arm, where humans can we got a huge axis of movement on that shoulder. Just imagine everything's like the elbow, where it actually only has 2 axes of rotation and a little bit of play in that.
Mm-hmm.
That will be an easier imagination for you, hopefully.
Yeah.
So you're going to take your arm, you're going to draw out equal length bones for the first 2 parts, and then the last little bit is a short bone, and that is the hoof. It goes wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. The hoof,
Wiggle, wiggle,
if
wiggle.
exactly. For the emphasis to show that we're wrapped around an object, if we use the fact that we can lay stuff over it, it will be a lot easier. So if we take this arm, we're gonna move it on up. Sure, you can see this other green. Here, I'll use yellow. Yellow hasn't been put down here yet. There we go. The most gross yellow I've ever used. Ew.
That is a really bad yellow.
Yeah, that is
Not great.
spectacularly bad. There we go. So arm segment 1, arm segment 2, hoofy hoofy hoof. Hoofy hoofy hoof has decided to wrap completely around the side of the horse, so we are losing a lot of that hoofy hoofy hoof. And that will help emphasize that yes, it is wrapping around an object. As far as the first 2 segments of arm, the first segment we want a little bit of an overlap here, and it's best to just show a little bit of a line. So if we do like that line, and then followed by that line, and you can do just a little bit of an overlap line there, and then you can get that sort of 3D sort of look you're looking for.
Yeah.
I hope that helps.
Yeah, that helps.
I believe
Yeah.
CPC is indicating here that our horses are actually made of Velcro, and when they hug each other, they just sort of loop with each other. And really, most of your life is trying to find someone that is that hook to go with your loop.
Incorrect. Go on. So over here on the right, I've got just these, and it's bad. It's not good, but I guess the point across. A lot of it will be focusing on like where that shoulder is and how that shoulder goes. And when it comes to like this area, the thing to keep in mind is just actually let me go down here. Foreshortening. So, for example, in your picture, you've got this end of the hoof here and this end of the hoof here, both being like completely shown. This hoof is going to be like wrapping around a fair bit, so you're not going to see that like lighter part of the hoof on this one.
Yeah.
And that's kind of similar to what I've done here, and I'm just showing off this like part of the hoof right there. And what I'm also doing is this back pony, I'm having them overlap the sort of hugging pony. So up here, the hugging pony is in front. Down here, the pony getting hugged is in front and stuff. Yeah. And the cool thing is that you can also see, for example, like in here, you can see in like the pony getting hugged's hair coming through and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You do all sorts of fun stuff. All sorts of fun stuff with foreshortening and overlapping. But it is a hard pose because it is specifically 2 characters really close together, and you need to like pay attention to sort of how they squish. And so
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my take on it.
Thank you.
Oh, good picture. Great picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah.
And don't forget hoofy hoofy hoof. It's an important one.
Hoof, hoof, hoof.
All right, shall we move on to our next one?
Hell yeah.
Sweet. All right, top center. Thank you, CPC, for floofing that one.
Hell yeah.
So this one is by Cordell Wolf 10, Sunset and Colors. Been a while since I posted a drawing here, but I can finally go. But I finally got the drive to make one again. I tried experimenting a little with the little backgrounds and the coats of the ponies. Some things that I would like help with include eyes and drawing ponies in perspective. Hope you all enjoy the drawing.
Muzzles are hard. This picture is great. It's fun. I love the sort of construction and the stars in the background and all that kind of sort of stuff. Muzzles are hard and strange and weird. You can see someone doing good muzzle up there. Whenever I do muzzles, I tend to. Well, the first step is to kind of like look at the sort of box thing, to use that as like a bit of a base for the shape that the muzzle is, whatever. And then you can kind of come over, using that as a base, you can kind of come over and then optimize that shape for like being shown off in 2D. You can see everyone doing such good muzzles. But yeah. You can also make the ear bigger. Like no stress. I'd probably, the ear right here is kind of colliding with the eye. So what I tend to do when I'm drawing like the basic sort of shape is like, I have the neck there, I have the head there. I tend to section off like a bit of, once I've decided on like the front, tend to section off a bit of like space on the side of the head, and I make sure that the eye doesn't like fall into that area, and then that area can be free for ears to attach and all that sort of stuff. But that's just how I approach ponies, mistress.
For muzzles, I highly suggest go grab your references. They are my favorite tool ever. If you're looking for some references because you can't find them, I got good news. The internet is actually covered with pictures of horses. Not nearly as many pictures of cats, but almost as many. If you go to our sideboard, you can find beginner guides and exterior guides and tutorials. There's actually a link to a bunch of references in the exterior guides. But if you also just check the beginner guides or exterior guides, both of them have a very in-depth tutorial on constructing faces. They may help you create a bit of a better construction, or just re-review basically what we're saying with it in the tutorials.
Oh yeah. You can see people drawing all sorts of cool faces. Oh my gosh.
So you see that we've redone a lot of the spiky bits on the left horse. The reasoning behind that is less is more when it comes to making that sort of fluffy, crazy, chaotic hair. Doing it too much just reminds people of like a chainsaw, and it gets a bit too chaotic. It's violent almost in nature. It doesn't look right, because if you go, say, I don't know, look at your own hair and like grab a section of it and move it about, yeah, you have all these fine edges, but if you also step back, say 10 feet, do you see the fine edges? Do they exist really, or does it start losing that definition? Generally, it's going to lose that definition unless you got some really sharp eyes. So let's go for the less is more approach, or at least I would push you to the less is more approach. So what CPC's done here is they've just simplified a lot of the spike bodies of it, And by doing that, it has taken a lot of the attention out of the mane and brought it towards the rest of the horse. So you can see sections like here where you had a whole bunch of little spikes that were chaotically going in both directions, both upwards and downwards in spikes. So you had downward spike here, upward spike there. It doesn't make sense for how the hair is formed, so they brought it all to the same sort of direction, even though some, like this one, flicks outwards, going up like that, and then the one beneath it is going down with gravity. That's still part of a body. It's part of the whole of the hair, and the whole of the hair likes to stick together. Otherwise, you gotta go into our segue. Keeps. This video is brought to you by Keeps. Don't forget. No. Otherwise, you start losing all the hair.
So hard. All right, relax. Calm down.
I'm trying to get our funding here.
Yeah.
And I figure if we just do it and then be like, hey, remember that contract we never signed?
So, if you look down here, you can see one example of, some pretty short, sketchy sort of line work versus this kind of line work, which are created with like long, flowy strokes done with your shoulder and your elbow instead of your wrist. It looks more confident and it's easier to read when you sort of have these longer, flowier strokes, and when you have these basically when you focus on kind of the bigger shapes over the details. That's what CPC's done, is like instead of all of these tiny little details all along here, it's just been simplified down to the important bits. It's easier to read, easier to see, and it looks more interesting. So, yeah.
The original hairstyles from the show does not look okay on my style of drawing ponies.
Yeah, definitely look at those fan artists to get different sort of styles and info about sort of the hair and all that kind of thing. Looks good though. Good art. Keep on drawing and keep on trying art stuff. You can see all these different takes on the pony about.
Yeah. Shall we move
Also,
on to our...
hello, Fluffy. So.
Oh,
Oh, there's his mic. Hi, Fluff. Welcome to the
Hi.
stream.
Thank you.
All right, let's move on to our next lovely picture. Beneath this one is a picture by Seborgan. As always, struggling with colors, wanted to picture down feeling. Dawn feeling.
Oh.
What?
I think LD mentioned this earlier when we were just chatting, but it feels like an Illumix picture.
Which is a compliment. We love Illumix.
Oh, hell yeah. Illum is a good artist.
And I know you said you had trouble with color, but I really do love in the final version, the colors you have. It infinitely makes the piece feel way more interesting.
It's a good set of colors, and Celestia pops out of the piece. Luna is pretty clearly visible. Background looks interesting, especially all in this kind of area. I don't get that Dawn vibe. I think it feels like they're just chilling, middle of the day.
I think it's the purples that are being cast through the window. That's what gives me the feeling.
I think it looks. I think it feels quite sort of early morning to me.
Feels like night, but I guess they're essentially the same thing.
Evening. Yeah, I guess dawn is usually more golden.
Yeah, I'd push that yellow instead of the purple a bit more.
Evening more magenta. Yeah.
You can see what someone's doing there. Pushing all those colors.
I get that it's probably on purpose, but I think the sort of energy that we're seeing in the background from Celestia is makes it feel more sort of daytime, casual. Whereas the sleepy Luna definitely feels sort of like morning-ish. But I suppose that's probably the point of the Sun Princess, Moon Princess. The Sun Princess is a good early riser.
It's a very excited sun horse.
Yeah.
If you wanna push that it's early, push the
It's
yellows,
more
oranges, and make Luna sleepier. She doesn't look too sleepy to me. I
and
think
yeah.
just yeah.
Just having Celestia be more sort of like relaxed as well, it could because it's not so much just like colors that makes something feel like a certain atmosphere, like how the characters are responding to that atmosphere is important, I think. So I don't know, that's just my thoughts in general. But I know you're not going to redraw a huge section of the picture. That was probably very much on purpose, more just for sort of future thoughts and analysis.
Hell yeah! Next time, let's go. Next time, picture stuff. Yeah. The ears. If Luna is sleepy and stuff, you'd probably see those ears like going down,
It's a good point. Yeah.
being just bleh. All the the ears are definitely like a big part of the expression, so keep
Hmm.
them in mind.
Just with this hoof that Celestia has holding up here, the spike you've put here is a little bit too exaggerated for the angle that it's at. Just because we seem to be seeing most of the bottom of her hoof, so that spike wouldn't, this little one, I'm assuming that's what that is, wouldn't be visible. And then the middle one would be completely behind the hoof, so we wouldn't see it. So just
Yeah.
round that out a little bit and it'll look a little better.
With that one there, the one on the chest, it looks like she isn't eating enough. The hoof should fill out the hoof cup a whole lot more. It
If
feels
it is
like.
meant to be skinny, try to copy that on the other arm as well, since this one looks more like thick, all in
Mm.
like equal amounts of like wideness. But this one's got all these little bumps and edges. Just try to keep that consistency, or else one or the other of the legs is going to look weird.
Yeah. If this one's all weird and bumpy, that one needs to be weird and bumpy as well. I'd also say the kind of shoulder construction here is a little bit interesting. If you've got the hoof raised up like this, I'd sort of expect the shoulder to come maybe that way just a little bit more. Present like somewhere like around here or something like that. But that's me, and that's something to mess about with in sort of the sketch stage and all that sort of stuff. Ooh, was this in the original picture?
The plant?
The
Sorry?
coffee cup.
Yeah.
Oh, whoever added the emphasis to that, do that.
The line?
That no,
That?
I think Len has just been, or someone has just been like adding emphasis to this and adding colors to this, and over time, and now I can actually see it.
Mhm.
Like when I first looked at the picture, I did not see that at all. I thought that was just part of the background.
Me neither.
So,
Yeah, same.
I didn't add much. I just added a little bit here.
yeah,
You
that little
kind of
tiny bit of stuff there just pulls it out of the background. Little
just
tiny
kind
bits
of
of
tying
emphasis.
back to that one picture you did with the podium in the city on top of that tower. Just be careful how you blur things. You don't want to blur them
Hmm.
too much; they become
Yeah.
undefined. So just try to keep that in mind when
I
you're
was going
doing
to say
painting or
a
if you're
bit of
adding
blurring
color to it.
could help, but too much and it just sort of becomes the background. So I would watch that. I'd blur the background more like around Celestia and on like the ceiling on the right hand corner there, and the like windows and everything, and blur the cup, like just have it like a blurred a little bit, like the super foreground blurred slightly, background blurred quite a lot, especially as we go further away. Like the stuff behind Celestia should be more blurred than the windows, and then you have the ponies in focus, and then that helps to make everything feel more dynamic.
Mm. I like how you've done that. I like it. extreme foreground stuff is like always really interesting and fun,
Mhm.
and can help like fill out spaces that aren't meant to be like looked at or examined too closely.
Keep it up, Suborgan. You're doing a great job.
Hell yeah! Every time we see your stuff, it's like, oh my god, looks great. So feel free to keep on chucking stuff our way.
All right. That's it for art we have today. Anyone else have any other questions?
Why am I so sleepy?
That is the nerve agent I have unleashed into your house, so I can
Oh, no.
claim plushies.
Okay.
No,
I
I'll
think
protect them.
LD needs to calm down a bit. All right, relax. Jesus.
They're all gonna get little Santa hats.
Santa hats filled with nerve agent.
Yeah, you figured me out.
No.
What time do you start on next Tuesday?
About 40 minutes ago. Every week, same time, same bat hour.
Same place,
Unless
same country.
unless America changes time zones, in which case it gets weird. But
They won't do it
yeah.
again so soon, but yeah.
40 minutes ago, every single week.
Yeah, and if Living Dead remembers to click that event, it might inform someone.
Ned, that would be 40 minutes ago. Depends on your time zone.
Yeah.
If you go up to the top, you've got like the events stuff.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, hell yeah. I say that would be 40 minutes ago because in my time it's 9 a.m.
It's different for everyone. You can't just say like it's at 4 and then it's not gonna be the same for everyone.
Except me and
That's fair.
For me, it's 11.
We're forming an alliance.
Yep. We have just made this stream around our time.
That's why for tree time I'm just like it's this time UTC. It never changes. Everyone else can change.
All right. Well, seeing as no one else has any other questions, we're gonna end the stream today. So thank you all for coming. We'll see you again next week. Bye.
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 Oh yeah. Also, Merry Festivus. Cheers.
Oh yeah.
What?
Don't forget to
Happy candle nights.
Yeah. Heartswarming Eve. Don't forget to watch your local pony cartoon.
Play the pony
Gotta
album.
watch all the
That's
Christmas
great.
specials again.
It's a great
Yeah, I
album.
play that every
Pony
Christmas.
album.
I love
Presents
it.
always filled with presents.
The pony